And then Austin chimes in. Any comments on the highest paid special teams coordinator in the NFL? Yeah, we'll get there.
Fire him.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's get the stock up, stock down. We do this after every Packers game. Some stocks go up, some stocks go down. This is not an indication of where they're at through the full season. This is just an indication of the past game. So in this case, it's week 3's loss to the Browns. As you can imagine, a lot more stocks going down than stocks going up after the first loss this season for the Green Bay Packers. Let's get into it. Let's start with a stock down.
Stock down.
Let's start with decision-making. I've kind of riffed through all 3 of these, so I'll hit them real fast. But I think the decision to make Zach Tom active was a bad one. It was a questionable decision from the get-go. We talked about it at length on yesterday's pregame show. I don't get having a guy with an oblique tear active after just missing one game. I just didn't get the decision. And then I really didn't get the decision after he exited after only one play on the field. So the Tom being active decision, LaFleur's play-calling decision-making, didn't really get that. And then again, this is not the first time we've brought this up. It's the first time we've brought it up this year. But what was Love thinking on the interception? That was just a bad throw. And I didn't really understand it. So decision-making gets a stock down for me.
Stock up.
This one, you might say it's patting myself on the back, but it's all the people who've been Matt LaFleur critics. All the people who said stop worrying about what's happening in the stands and focus on your team and your offense and make sure you got everything going. We said it earlier, and I stand by it. I think this was the worst game of Matt LaFleur's coaching career for the Green Bay Packers. He didn't seem to meet the moment. He didn't seem to know what the game needed and what his team needed and in what situations he needed it. I think there was plenty of times where you can go back, and I think many were doing it in live time. This isn't hindsight 2020, where he was pulling the wrong strings at the wrong time consistently in a game where you knew you weren't going to need much more than 14 to 17 points to win this, and you couldn't muster it. You couldn't do it. And I think it's been a rough showing here for Matt LaFleur, and I hope they get things corrected.
Stock down.
That would be the aforementioned highest paid special teams coordinator in the National Football League.
Get this guy out of my life.
It's year 3 of Rich Bisaccia in Green Bay. Tell me where we've improved.
Nowhere.
Maybe the kicker position. But you saw one get blocked yesterday.
Well, if you remember, when there was kicking issues, everyone said, well, it's not Rich Bisaccia's fault.
Yep. And then they bring in Brandon McManus. He doinks one last week against the Commanders, has one blocked yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. And again, I don't know that the block is necessarily McManus' fault, but punt return decisions.
A little low trajectory.
Yeah. But also, I mean, they broke down on the broadcast prior to that. Okay, they're not blocking very well on the right side, and they get through and ultimately block it. The other part of this is this punt return, kick return fiasco. You have McCole Hardman sitting on the practice squad. You have open roster spots. What the hell are we doing? Stop putting Matthew Golden back there. I'm willing to try Savion Williams a little bit more, but you never had an answer entering the season who's going to be returning kicks and punts now that Keyshawn Nixon's not doing it. You literally signed McCole Hardman in the offseason to do that role. You have him on the practice squad. You have 2 open roster spots right now. I don't get the point of not bringing him up. That's just another gripe. I could go on with Rich Bisaccia. I don't understand the point of him.
Is there? Well, I've been pounding the Rich Bisaccia drum for I think as long as anybody has, because when you come in with the moniker of he was supposed to be the savior. And yes, Will can attest to this. I did hear somebody compare him to Joe Barry and say it was even worse than Joe Barry because we had no expectations yesterday on the postgame show. I think his tenure in Green Bay has been equally as disastrous, especially when you include expectations.
I agree 100%.
Is there a limit on elevations on game day that you can have for a practice squad player?
Yes, depending on the player.
Okay. Is it like a vested amount of like how much you played in the NFL? Because like
I believe that
if
plays
they
a role,
were doing the McCole Hardman, is there a potential they've thought we're going to weather the storm and see if we need to pull the McCole Hardman?
I would guess that's the case, but when is there a better time than right now?
You got to stop the bleeding.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, you saw the Matthew Golden one against the Commanders where he returned it for -4 yards back to their 2-yard line. I think they ended up scoring on that drive.
Things are bad when a win to Packers fans is did they catch and fair catch the punt?
Yeah.
That's oftentimes
it's bad.
a win.
So big stock down to Rich Bisaccia.
Stock down.
All right, another stock down. Not going to be a lot of stock ups today. It's the entirety of the offensive line. I think each player who did play individually had a game they probably would like to have back. I think the Zach Tom situation is weird. I think then when Zach Tom has only one play, Jordan Morgan started at right tackle, position we haven't seen him at any point. We've seen him at everything else but center. That to me was confusing. I thought Belton has been fine and serviceable in that spot. I do understand you probably want a little more experience there, but Jordan Morgan's versatility has been used seemingly against him, and it probably has gotten to his head a little bit of where the hell am I playing? How am I going to play? And oh crap, that's Myles Garrett. I do think he had a bad game, and he can play better, and he will play better. But I also think he's been put in a near impossible position. And then Elton Jenkins, we mentioned as well, hasn't played his best. Aaron Banks.
Just real quick on Jordan Morgan. 3 false start penalties.
Yeah, tough. Got to know the count.
His assignment was the one who blocked the game-winning field goal.
Yes, correct. You know who blocked that, right?
Yeah, it was
Wisconsin native.
Who?
Newsom? Shelby Harris.
Oh, yes. I didn't realize he was still in the league.
Yes.
Yes.
He somehow is the world's best field goal blocker.
Is he really? Does he have many of them?
4 or 5.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm sorry. I blanked out his name. But, yes, he's a Wisconsin native. And he's been in the league for
long time. Good career he's had.
15 years? That might be a little long. But
he's old enough that I know people that played with him, and I have, we have mutual friends.
He's 34 years old. His first year in the league was 2014. So, I mean, this is his 13th season.
Good career.
NFL. Good for him.
Good career. And then the last part I was also going to mention is Aaron Banks.
Yeah.
3 games, and he hasn't completed a single one of them. He's had 3 separate injuries. He had a back injury, groin, ankle, you name it. I need you on the field, buddy. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sign that in
right
in the off season for him not to play.
I mean, he was a priority for the Packers. He was signed at day 1, correct?
Yeah. Day 1 of free agency. Yes.
Yeah. So that to me, we got to figure out what's going on there. Why are so many injuries? What do we need to put him on some sort of Christian Watson program? Clearly, whatever the stretching and weightlifting that the training staff is doing with you is not working. We need to figure out how to keep you on the field.
And the other part of this, and I know we're talking offensive line and stock down, but the other free agent addition was Nate Hobbs. 43 of the defense's 66 snaps. 39 of the defense's 66 snaps, had 4 on special teams. Bo Melton, by the way, 13 snaps.
Played offense.
13 snaps. 14 snaps. 13 of them on special teams, 1 of them on offense. What the hell is going on around here? All right.
Stock down.
Stick with the stock downs because there's not a lot of ups to go from that 13-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns. Stock down to going undefeated. The Packers now 2-1, just a couple of days after left tackle Rasheed Walker, who did not have his finest day on Sunday against the Browns, said this to reporters earlier in the week.
I think we can go undefeated.
Yeah, he did think they could go undefeated. That is no longer the case as they get ready for a Week 4 matchup in Dallas. The Packers now 2-1, stock down to going undefeated.
I think we can go undefeated.
Stock up. This is what I've already heard some people try it out on Jen Game and Chewy and Wildy and Tausch this morning. Stock up to wake-up calls.
Yeah.
We didn't think we'd need one. And if you're going to spin anything positive out of what happened yesterday in Cleveland, this is a big-time wake-up call that this is the NFL, and you guys were sniffing your own crap. You guys were high and mighty, thinking, hey, we can beat anybody, but now you got the wake-up call. Let it be the last one of the season, and let it mean something, and come out next week and look even better.
So I'm not ready for that quite yet. I can tell. I think I'm going to get there, though.
You'll get there by the end of KBN.
Oh, you think that's a Monday thing?
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe by Wednesday's episode I'm there. But I don't know if I'm ready to sit here and say that was a wake-up call. Because, look, good teams beat bad teams. I do not view the Cleveland Browns as a good team.
They aren't.
They might be fine. They might win 7 games. I don't know. I don't know what their ceiling is this season. I probably won't watch another Browns game this year unless they're on, Monday night.
The Ravens scored 40 on them.
That's what I'm saying. right? Good offenses adapt to situations. The offense looked awful yesterday for the Green Bay Packers. Couldn't get the running game going. Jordan Love did not have a very good day. And obviously, you're dealing with a half-healthy Tucker Kraft. You're without Jaden Reed. You're without Christian Watson. What this offense will look like at hopefully full strength at the end of the year is a little bit different than it looked like yesterday in Cleveland. But they looked really, really rattled by that Cleveland front seven. You had some guys in that Cleveland defense that had awesome days, which I would argue maybe none better than Carson Schlesinger, easy for me to say, who had a terrific day for them. He was everywhere.
Pat on the back to me for giving that out on Weekly Wager as the Defensive Rookie of the Year bet.
Looking good through 3 weeks.
Looking damn good.
Looking really good through 3 weeks. Obviously, Myles Garrett wreaked havoc a little bit. Malik Collins, their interior lineman, was all over Jordan Love. I think he had more than a sack. So, all in all, this offense looked really bad. And that's, again, to Joshy's point, a week after the Ravens put up 40 points on them. That's what I was anticipating from the Packers. Continue to let that momentum ride. If you need a wake-up call in week 3, that's probably not a good thing. That's the part I struggle with on this whole wake-up call thing. Now, do I think they go to Dallas and put the shellacking on the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football before the bye week?
It's the great deodorizer.
The answer is yes. I do think they go to Dallas. I do think they win big, and I do think they rebound going into the bye week. But I don't know if I like the fact that there's a wake-up call against the Cleveland freaking Browns in week 3. I don't know if I can get down with that. That's where I'm at right now. I hear you. I hear the argument. I hear people saying it.
We're mining for anything.
I've read a lot of the this is a good wake up call thing. I don't know if I can buy it. All right, there's stock up, stock down for week 3 as the Packers fall to the Browns 13-10.
I do have one I want to add here.
Sure.
Can I give a stock down to young Will Summers?
Yeah, you can give a stock down to Will. What did he do?
Well, yesterday, you would think, after Russell Wilson had a career day, a washed Russell Wilson had a career day against the Cowboys defense, young Will here would learn from his previous mistakes of being a Bears fan and believing and getting too high and mighty. But he was dabbing on us.
Dude, I've barely talked to him today, but I've walked past him several times. I've never seen him smile so much.
I'm having a great day. Strouf wouldn't even look me in the eye this morning.
I just want to say,
this is only going to end like one way, and
right.
It's not going to be good.
Right. Is it worth the victory lap you've taken the past 24 hours?
Yes.
To know how much worse that's going to make us?
Yes. I mean, I know the Cowboys aren't a great team. They don't have a good defense, but the Bears, they did what they were supposed to do to teams like the Cowboys. So to see that, it was a little inspiring.
Who they are supposed to do? They're in the same. They're in the same camp as the Cowboys.
Both of those teams are 1-2 now.
You guys are playing with Lincoln Logs. He's got nothing.
Caleb Williams was fine yesterday.
Fine.
He was pretty good.
He threw 4 touchdowns.
Is that good? How many did Love have?
See, this is.
You're getting yourself in trouble.
You know they play twice.
I got time before that. This is all going to wash away before then.
Did you happen to get a look at any of the pressure statistics against?
Yeah, offensive line was great.
Oh,
O-line played really good against a former Packer rusher who's pretty prolific, Kenny Clark. They shut him down pretty
Kenny Clark,
easily.
who's playing injured right now and had 2.5 sacks last year.
Yeah.
Nah, Kenny Clark, who had 1 tackle yesterday.
they shut him down.
Do you think
Kenny, but just so you're aware, Kenny Clark, Javonte Williams, and George Pickens all had the same amount of tackles yesterday.
Yeah. Dak sucks.
Javonte Williams is a running back. George Pickens is a wide receiver. Just making sure we're all on the same
Caleb
page.
Williams
They
turns
did
out,
have 3 interceptions, so.
If Caleb Williams turns out to be as good as Dak, that's a massive win for you.
Correct.
He's going to be better than Dak. He was.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say this.
Okay. Statistically, Dak's been top 5 in the league this year. Like,
Well. No.
I was taking. I think Dak has been great, and I think losing.
His PFF has been top 5.
Not yesterday. He was not great yesterday.
I think losing CD Lamb ruined everything for them yesterday.
Yes, correct.
Sort of the same way the Eagles looked so bad when Carter spit in Dak's face. It changed everything in the complexity and the game plan. I think Dak is better than everyone gives him credit for, but I also don't think he's one of the elites.
We're gonna get to Will's weekend review in a moment. I will just say this: I'm gonna give the Bears a compliment. I'm gonna give somebody on the Bears a compliment. Luther Burden was good yesterday. Their second round pick out of Missouri.
But there's an asterisk
highest
on all
graded
of
receiver.
that. There's an asterisk on all of that.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be the only week that the Bears have wide open receivers. The only secondary in the game of football, regardless of level, that is worse than the Cowboys are the Wisconsin Badgers. like those two teams are the worst at covering receivers. So the Bears did what they're supposed to because the Cowboys are Luke Fickle ass. They're worse than Turbo ass.